Welcome, everyone, to Chat Like a Native.
Great to be here.
So have you ever had that feeling, you know your English, the grammar, the words, but when someone actually speaks to you, your brain just freezes for a second?
Oh, absolutely. Like someone asks a really simple question, maybe, can you send me that report by 3 p.m.?
Yeah, exactly. And you understand every single word.
Yeah.
But there's still that little pause, that delay, while you're finding the response in your head.
It can feel like forever, can it? Even if it's just a split second,
Yeah.
sort of like wading through mental treacle.
That's a great way to put it. Well, today in this deep dive, we're going to look at some really practical ways to train your brain to think faster in English.
Which in turn helps you speak more naturally, feel way more confident, and actually keep up better with native level speech.
Definitely. So if you've ever felt that frustrating pause,
Huh.
stick around. What we're talking about today could seriously change your English conversations.
It really could. Because that hesitation, it can be, well, pretty deflating, right? Even if you end up saying the right thing. And often, it's not really about not knowing the English. It's more about how quickly your brain can grab that knowledge and use it, like right there in the moment.
Okay, so it's an access speed issue, not necessarily a knowledge issue.
Precisely. So, yeah, we've got some actionable techniques to really work on speeding up that mental processing in English.
All right, let's get into it then. One thing that sounds almost too simple, but is apparently quite effective, is this idea of asking yourself really quick questions in English, just silently throughout the day.
Yes, it sounds basic, but there's some clever brain training going on there, and it's something anyone can do, anywhere, no special equipment needed.
Right.
The main idea is getting your brain used to thinking and responding in English automatically, spontaneously, without that step of translating from your first language.
Okay, so give us an example, like when you first wake up.
Yeah, exactly. You could just mentally ask yourself, did I sleep well? Just a quick internal thought. Or later, maybe you're making a drink, coffee or tea today.
So really simple stuff, not deep philosophical questions.
Yeah. Not at all. At first, keep it super simple. It's just about that quick internal check-in, but doing it in English.
Okay, and then you can build on that.
Absolutely. As you get more comfortable, you can ask slightly more complex things. Maybe, do I feel rested? Or am I feeling energetic?
Or looking out the window, will it rain this afternoon? Something like that.
Perfect. Or even a preference. Do I prefer sitting here or over there? It just needs a little bit more internal English wiring to answer, even if it's just for yourself.
And the theory is that this gives your brain these little micro workouts, right? For retrieving English words and structures really fast.
Exactly. Mini workouts is a great way to think about it. You do this repeatedly with simple stuff, and you're strengthening those neural pathways, building that mental muscle memory.
So when someone asks you something simple in a real conversation,
Your brain's already warmed up. It's practiced that rapid retrieval so the response comes more quickly, more naturally. It reduces that hesitation.
okay, that makes a lot of sense, developing that automaticity.
Now, another fantastic way to build that kind of speed is through something we could call the word chain game, or maybe a word association sprint.
Ah, okay. This sounds a bit more active.
It is, yeah. But it's not just a game. It's seriously effective for boosting how fast you can pull vocabulary into your active thoughts, especially relevant vocabulary.
And this sounds like something you could do, when you're waiting for the bus or something, making dead time useful.
Totally. The basic idea is pick a topic. Anything: food, travel, work, hobbies.
Okay, let's say travel.
Great. So you take travel. You could maybe set a timer on your phone for, say, 60 seconds, and you just list out loud or in your head as many related words as possible, as fast as you can.
So for travel, airport, passport, suitcase, fly, train, hotel, booking. Like
Exactly.
next.
Keep going. Map, explore, currency, visa, check-in, security. Just rapid fire until that timer goes off.
And I guess the timer adds that little bit of pressure, pushes you a bit.
That's key, actually. That little bit of pressure forces your brain to access the words more quickly than if you were just casually thinking. It mimics conversational pressure in a way.
Right.
And what's cool is it also helps you build mental links between words. You're not just recalling isolated items. You're seeing how they connect within a topic.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's more like how language actually works.
Precisely. And you don't have to do it alone. You can make it interactive.
Oh, how would that work with someone else? Sounds like fun. Maybe with a language exchange partner.
Definitely. So you could do a kind of relay. One person says a word related to the topic, say beach.
Okay, beach. Sand.
Good. Then I have to
Bag.
quickly say something related to sand, maybe? Castle?
Sun.
Water. See? It forces you to think fast and react to the other person's word. Keeps you on your toes.
That does sound more dynamic, like a real back and forth.
Yeah, or you can make it competitive. Set a timer for, say, 2 minutes. Take turns saying words related to the topic. Each valid word gets a point. See who has more points at the end.
Ah, adding a score could really ramp up the speed element.
It does. The solo version builds your personal recall speed, and the partner version adds that interactive reactive element, which is crucial for real conversations.
Okay, great. So we've got quick internal questions and these word association sprints, both focused on speed and access. What's the next piece of the puzzle?
Well, the third key technique shifts focus a bit. It's about building your ability to actually speak more continuously, becoming more comfortable filling time, and managing the natural flow of speech. Let's call it timed condos or time-bound speaking.
Right, so moving from just thinking or listing words to actual speaking out loud.
Exactly. The goal here is to challenge yourself to talk nonstop about a topic for a set period, really focusing on keeping the flow going.
Okay, I can see how that might feel. Intimidating for some people.
Yeah.
Especially if they worry about mistakes or running out of things to say.
That's a really common concern, totally understandable. But the key is to start small and, importantly, focus on fluency over accuracy, at least initially.
Fluency over accuracy. Okay.
So, pick a simple topic. Something easy you can talk about. What you did yesterday, your favorite food, your opinion on a movie you saw.
Okay, something familiar.
Then set a timer for just 1 minute. And just talk out loud about that topic, the crucial part. Don't stop talking until the timer goes off.
Even if you make mistakes or can't find the perfect word.
Especially then, if you stumble on grammar, just keep going. If you can't think of a specific word, don't pause and search endlessly. Try to explain it another way, paraphrase. Just keep the engine running.
So the primary goal isn't perfect English, it's just continuous sound, continuous communication.
Pretty much at the start, it's about building momentum and reducing that fear of silence or hesitation. You're training your brain to keep going, to find a way to express the idea, even if it's not the most elegant way initially.
I see. And then you gradually increase the time.
Exactly. Once 1 minute feels manageable, push it to 2 minutes, then maybe 3. You're building mental stamina for speaking English. You get less anxious about pauses because you're practicing just filling the space with relevant talk.
And I imagine recording yourself doing this would be incredibly useful, wouldn't it? Though maybe a bit painful to listen back sometimes.
It can be, but it's so valuable. Recording gives you amazing feedback. When you listen back, you'll notice things you weren't aware of while speaking.
Like filler words. All the ums and us.
Definitely. You might hear patterns like overusing like or you know, or maybe you repeat certain phrases. Or you might notice where you genuinely hesitated because you lacked vocabulary.
So it gives you specific things to focus on next time.
Precisely. It creates a feedback loop. You speak, you record, you listen critically but kindly, identify 1 or 2 things to improve, and then you try again. It's a really practical way to consciously improve both fluency and accuracy over time.
That makes perfect sense. Speak, record, reflect, repeat. Okay, so those 3 techniques sound really solid. Rapid-fire questions, word association sprints, and timed convos.
They are. And sort of underpinning all of this, there's a mindset aspect that's really important.
Yes, the mindset. Always crucial for language learning.
It really is. It's about truly accepting that making mistakes is just part of it. It's how we learn.
Not seeing them as failures, but as, like, data points.
Exactly. Opportunities to learn and adjust. If you can shift your focus away from I must be perfect towards I want to communicate my idea, something amazing happens.
What's that?
Your brain often relaxes, and when it relaxes, the language tends to flow more easily. You become less self-critical in the moment, which frees up mental resources for actually speaking.
Right. Less focus on perfection, more on connection and communication. Okay, so just to quickly recap the core methods we've discussed for speeding up that English thinking.
We had the rapid-fire questions, those quick internal English check-ins throughout the day.
Yep. Build spontaneous thought. Then the word chain game or association sprint.
Right, for boosting rapid vocabulary recall under a bit of pressure, solo or with a partner.
Got it. And finally, the timed convos.
Speaking continuously on a topic for set times, like 1, 2, or 3 minutes, to build stamina and fluency, using recording for feedback.
It feels like a really practical, well-rounded toolkit.
It is. And to really make these work for you, a few final tips might help. First one is super obvious, but critical. Consistency.
The C word. Always comes up in learning.
Because it works. Seriously, doing just 5 or 10 minutes of something every day is way more effective than one long session once a week. Think daily micro practice.
Little and often. Okay, what else?
Track your progress somehow. It's motivating. Maybe jot down your score in the word game, or how long you managed to speak without a major hesitation, or just a note about how it felt. Seeing improvement, even small steps, keeps you going.
Good idea. A little progress log.
And keep it fresh. Don't use the same topic for your time talks or word sprints every single time. Mix it up. Talk about different things. Use different starting words. Keeps your brain engaged.
Variety keeps it from feeling like a chore, right?
Exactly. Also, try linking these exercises to existing habits. Maybe do your rapid questions while brushing your teeth, or a quick word sprint while the kettle boils. Use those little moments. Real-world triggers.
Piggybacking on existing routines. Smart.
And lastly, don't forget to acknowledge when you do well. Did you speak for 3 minutes straight? Awesome. Did your word list get longer? Great. Celebrate those small wins. Positive reinforcement works wonders.
Fantastic advice.
Yeah.
So it sounds like the path to thinking faster in English isn't about some magic trick, but more about consistent, targeted practice using techniques like these.
Absolutely. It's about rewiring those pathways, making English thinking more automatic, step by step. Be patient with yourself, but be consistent.
So for everyone listening, maybe think about which of these could fit into your day today. Could you try just a few rapid-fire questions this morning?
Or maybe challenge yourself to a 1-minute timed convo about your lunch break later.
Just picking one thing and starting small could be the first step towards those more natural, confident English conversations you're aiming for. Give it a go. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive today.
Yes, thanks everyone. Happy practicing.